Hey everyone, I was reading this more about the Ohio man era. Ohio man ex-relatives say he is a monster. Several relatives of Figueroa, who left Ariel for years, at for years ago, and died last year after a long illness. Um, Painted a nightmarish portrait of Castro's family's life, and other authorities made public horrifying details of the abuse endured by imprisoned women. The interview of the Associate Press on Thursday, the relatives described Castro a monster who abused his wife and locked his family inside their own home. Their views were at odds with those of some of Castro's family and neighbors who knew the former school bus driver only as a happy, respectful man. Now, Fernando wrote Figueroa, 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 relatives to Castro savagely beat her, pushed her down a flight of stairs, breaking her nose, dislocating her shoulders, among other parts of her body. His sister, said that Castro once shoved Figueroa into a cardboard box and closed the flips over her head and told her, "You stay in there uh, you get out." Now, Carvalho, who cried as she recounted her late sister, terminated that when I got scared and ran downstairs to get my parents. Now, Castro's frightened his wife, kept a mannequin wearing a dark wig propped up against a wall, and sometimes drove around the neighborhood with its relatives. Said he threatened me a lot of times. With it, says Angel Capola, Castro's nephew, who used to play with his cousin in the house where the kidnapped women were found. He would say, "Act up again, you'll be back in room with the mannequin." This guy is psychotic. He should be. He should have. Some of his relatives should have called the police if he was doing this to his other relatives, saying abusing them. Um. So one day, um, she returned home with her arms full of groceries, and when Castro jumped into the doorway with the mannequin, frightened her badly. She fell backwards and smashed her head on the pavement. So, the prosecution Thursday they might seek the death penalty against Castro as police charge that impregnate one of the captives at least 5 times and made her miscarriage and starving her and punching her in the stomach. Allegations contained in the police report also said that one of the women, Amanda Berry, was forced to give birth in a plastic kiddie pool. It's just this guy. I don't know. Somebody should have done something when he was as a childhood, or figuring out the signs. Now, in the connection with the pregnancy that were terminated by force, McGinty said Castro would be charged for every act of sexual violence, assault, and other crimes committed against the women, suggesting the counts could number up hundreds, if not thousands. I'm hopeful. Now, the capital punishment must be reserved for those crimes that truly the worst example of human conduct, which this was. I would never be ashamed if that the jury will convict him totally for what he did to these girls. Especially Amanda Berry. held captive all these years and never saw her mom. And she died. That's just sad. Of her mom kept her spirits up to hoping to see her. Now the reality, we still have borough criminals and mid who have no respect for the rule of law of human life. Of course, Castro did DNA was delivered to the state Thursday afternoon to test to confirm that the father of the 6-year-old is his from Manenberry. Now the three women of Castro chained them up. Castro chained them up in the basement and eventually let them live on the second floor. Each woman told a similar story about being abducted and accepting a ride from him. The FBI has not recovered human remains in the house, spokesman said Victor Anderson on such Friday. Agents have removed more than 200 pieces of evidence, she added, claimed to say that was found. Now, Castro was arrested on Monday when Barry broke out of his rundown house and called 911. He was away, and police found the other two men inside. The women have vanished separately between 2002, 2004, all between 14, 16, and 20. Now, the relatives of Castro often forced her to remain inside the home, and for Bray her from using the telephone. After warning her not to leave, he would test her to see if she obeyed. I think some of the relatives of Figueroa should be charged. They knew they were in there. I think they should be charged. Some of the relatives of Castro have said they were shocked. Allegations against him and uncle Julia Castro said it's been difficult news to absorb. The relatives of that 1996 finally left Castro after he hit her for the last time. After one particular bad beating, Figueroa ran outside and one of her sons crying out, and they were just as the captured woman did. The neighbors went across the street to get her. El Caballo said that was the last time she ever stepped out of that house. So it's kind of like some of the relatives on both sides of Castro that lived there before Amanda and Knight, they knew they were in there. I think some of the relatives should be charged and go after them. They knew they hold evidence, knowing those women were in there, treating them the same way of, hey, you're staying in there. So, what do you think? And tell me below. Talk to you later. Bye now.